You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show.
Yeah, work that booty. Work that booty. What? Yo, come on now. We got the energy going. Yeah.
See, this is when you need another rap. Come on, freestyle.
I don't think I'm going to. I mean, I can. All right, let's just check it out. Because now I got to hear the beat, but he's lowered it instead of raising.
Keep it going.
Here tonight to hear the crowd go.
Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Tick, 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 tick. Bye, bye, and hello, Bernie, or how do I even start it? Bernie. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV, brought to you by Bing, where Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another live AfterBuzz TV after show recap from Monday Night Raw, emanating from the Sprint Center in Kansas City, Missouri. My name is GQ Money Cat. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
My name is now officially Ryan Smiley Katz, because GQ Money rests in peace.
Yeah.
They're wondering why you have the title up there.
I'll explain, because I technically still do have the title. I didn't lose the title. I lost my career.
Yeah, I mean, you
Not the title. The title was not on the line, so technically I retire as champ.
So that's just
and
a
leave it to
trophy.
be vacated.
It's a belt.
It's a trophy right now.
It's just a belt now.
It is a vacant title.
It's a belt.
But I'm
It's no
joined.
longer a championship,
Enough
it's a
about
belt.
me. Let's make it about you guys. Because you guys look fantastic
Thank
tonight.
you.
My triple threat tag team of broadcast brilliance. That's Ryan Morals Clum, Josh JP Female Demo Padgett, and Cathy Fatal Attraction. Kelley!
11.2 seconds.
I am on fire tonight because I gotta say, I thought this was an amazing episode of Raw. Oh my God! This was good.
Yeah, I almost feel like I need to go home. I have almost nothing to complain about tonight.
Yeah, Clum does not have a job tonight.
I know.
I have
I've
nothing to
almost
complain about.
one small thing towards the end, but
I got a complaint.
What's that?
For like weeks and weeks and weeks and months, we're always asking our fans if they can try to get some signs on the air. And like weeks and weeks and weeks, we wait and it never happens.
Never happens.
Now, throughout this broadcast, we saw in like the back corner, like hard cam right or TV screen right, there was like someone that had an AfterBuzz sign.
I only saw it
It was
once.
one shot. It was one time we saw it.
And then people were tweeting me all
Heyman,
episode,
yeah.
I guess,
The
about
AfterBuzz
saying
show.
that there were AfterBuzz signs all over. We got tweets from Malgorious, Kit Kat Ono saying that there were signs all over.
Never saw
and
anything.
just only saw like that one
They
brief
must have
shot.
been-
Yeah, that's the only one we saw.
That one right there over Heyman's shoulder.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
It is
cool.
awesome.
cool.
We got to say
Great,
thank you
But I
very
really
much.
had to zoom in for that. I mean,
But we need to get somebody to like front row with the
I mean, it would be
sign at some
amazing
point.
if there was someone on the hard cam, and even
Yeah.
if they didn't have those seats, that they would like walk in front of it and like constantly like hold it up.
I saw
and maybe even
the
I
whole
kept
show.
on seeing all
Throughout
these
the
yellow
whole show, but
signs.
it's not happened yet.
No, I kept on seeing all these yellow signs, and there was one that said like Ashley
Yeah, it
on
was
it. I was
Ashley.
like,
Oh, yeah.
I got so excited because it had a
I
capital
thought
A.
so too. We thought AfterBuzz.
There was a
but
very
no.
cool shield sign.
Unbelievable
We'll
shield
talk about
sign.
it later.
Wow, that was
Someone had these Christmas lights, but we just can't get
Hi,
an
Mom
Well,
sign.
somebody please be in the hard right, like maybe 4th or 5th row with
I mean,
the
is
sign
it
at
that
some point.
hard
Could it
to get
happen?
someone to just shake an AfterBuzz sign on the hard cam side?
Let's get some dedication, people.
Come on.
Unbelievable. Well, this episode starts with energy right from the get-go because the sirens are in effect as the ambulance makes its way into the Sprint Center.
and out from the back door of the ambulance comes Ryback with a new biker vest. And from the back of the ambulance, he climbs up to the to the top. He stands there with pride and gives the crowd a little piece of his mind. He says last night at Extreme Rules, Cena didn't walk away, he was carried away. And last night, Cena may have refused to be put in an ambulance, but next time he won't be able to refuse. And he's not standing up here on this ambulance just to be cool, because he doesn't care what any of you people think of him. He's doing it because at WWE Payback next month, live on pay-per-view, he's setting up an ambulance match. And then, you know what he said?
What's that?
He said when he fights John Cena in that ambulance match, John Cena will be taken to the medical facility.
Oh my goodness, what medical facility?
One day, where all of you will also be going.
Yeah.
But a lot of you will actually skip the medical facility and go straight to the morgue. Because you're all fat, pathetic, weak people of society.
Yeah.
Medical facility. Not the hospital.
That was tremendous.
The medical facility.
Such a weird,
It was very weird.
promo.
It started so good, and then all of a sudden he twists into this medical facility, and we halt right there, and we're like,
oh no.
Geez, it just took a turn,
Well,
and then he brought it back.
That's the
I
thing.
loved it. I loved
we
this
paused
promo.
it. We paused it.
We were ready
like,
to
this
crap
is
all
such an
over
amazing.
it.
No, at first we were
Right.
so happy with how it was going, and someone tweeted us, "This is awful.
Yeah,
like
Chris
Ryback's
tweeted it.
awful right now."
'cause we
And
were
we're
behind a
like,
few
"What are
minutes.
you talking about?" We play it, and then we hear the line.
Yes.
And we're like, oh no, this might be where it jumps the shark a bit. But then he pulled it
No,
back.
he pulled it back.
And I thought it was goofy but fun.
The best part was the sign that said "Will."
Oh,
Yes, so we see a sign that has Will pointing with an arrow to obviously a guy named Will in the crowd.
But that
and
was part of
Kathy's
his
like,
line.
wait, is that his cue card right there? Because he said, I think the line was
Something about Will.
Right,
Will
Will skip the facility and go straight to the morgue. Very funny stuff. Kathy, look at not only beautiful but funny and smart too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do we get silence and no pop on that? I mean, come on, people. Ryback continues. He tells the crowd that he has nothing in common with you. Because you guys have no idea what it's like to wake up in the morning and try to be the best. You have no goals. You have no direction. You are just lost souls of society.
Yeah.
And your hero is John Cena. And that's just pathetic. And all of you people worship John Cena, but you don't even match what John Cena stands for because you don't know anything about the hard work that he puts in. You don't know anything about nutrition. You have no idea what it takes to be a guy like a John Cena, or if that mattered, the Ryback himself. He's fired up. He says he'll take all of you to the morgue with John Cena in that ambulance match. So once the ambulance is going, 20,000 people or however many people are invited to hop along in on the ambulance or at least start a caravan and head on over to the medical
morgue.
facility. Go to the morgue, correct.
He's just bringing mass death. Mass death Ryback.
So if he's got that many people going to the morgue, does that mean he's got to, oh man, somebody make an investment in a body bag company this week because stocks are rising, baby. I got no pop on that one either.
Oh,
Silence.
I like it.
Silence.
Crickets.
There's only one fact of life, and that is Ryback rules.
I actually, the Ryback rules didn't bother me as much. I haven't liked it
Because momentum was awesome, and we got a
the way he
monster
did it.
promo
And
finally. This was the Ryback everyone wanted. That doesn't turn his back. That's ready to fight. That's ready to strike. That's ready to be a machine.
And I'm sorry, what was the line he said before Ryback rules? There was a line
There's only
he
one
preceded.
fact of life, and that is Ryback rules.
Yeah. And that.
Facts of life.
No, yeah, and
You take the good, you take the bad, you take it all in there. You have the facts of life. The facts of life.
One of the Facts of Life girls was on the last episode, season of Survivor.
I thought you were gonna say it was like a guest star on Raw.
No,
Was
she's on
it
Survivor.
Tootie? It was Tootie,
It was
wasn't
the blonde.
It was Blair.
It was Blair was on Survivor.
Blair.
She went to the final 3, I think.
So
Hold on. Was it just Taker guys that brought out the body bag in the early years?
Yeah,
It was Taker,
more of a
right?
Taker thing. Yeah.
We find out that over
him in a body bag.
170 million videos are watched on WWE's social media throughout each month. It's a lot of views.
It's impressive.
If we were to monetize that, if we were to take 170 million divided by about 1,000, that would give us 170,000 right there.
Yeah, something like that.
So there's about, and you can figure you're generally going to pull, or at least WWE is going to pull anywhere between $5 to $8 per 1,000 views on the ad, on monetizing ads. That's some hefty change per month right there. That's not so bad at all.
No, not at all.
First matchup.
Because they need more money.
Supplemental income. Supplemental.
First matchup of the night. So this promo, we decided, here's another good thing about it, 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
Good length, not too long, not too quick that it was meaningless. 6 powerful minutes that started Raw off with an energy that we will see continues on throughout the evening.
And was one of our 2 major programs going on right now as well. It started off with.
Yeah, man. First matchup, Miz and Chris Jericho teaming up to take on the team of Wade Barrett and Fandango.
How good was this?
I loved
Summer
it.
Rae. So let's first
Awesome.
talk. The trust has been back since the pay-per-view, and I think the last 2 episodes of Raw. So full Fandango entrance is back.
Full Summer Rae.
Summer Rae is wearing a beautiful yellow fringe dress.
Not as good as last night, but still
I
hot.
Pay-per-view.
I'm rocking the yellows today in my shoelaces.
There you go.
I see him.
And
the
my,
AfterBuzz.
and my pocket square and my belt buckle. So I'm a full supporter, and as I told you, I am a fan of texture. So I liked
You
the
like the fringe.
And I like that it adds a little motion. When she's moving, it adds extra motion to it. And they came out dancing and were showing off their dance moves from the get-go today.
Yeah.
Slight improvement.
More than a slight from the first couple times she's been doing it. She's starting to gel. They're starting to gel together a bit.
So they come into the ring to finish the entrance. The Fandango logo light kit is assembled, goes off, fizzles with the little sparkiness.
I love that thing.
And Michael Cole refers to it as the light bright kit. Everyone had a light. I'm assuming everyone had a light bright.
Yeah, of course.
Because I know the different generations. I don't know if it would have ended for your generation. You have one too?
Yeah.
It was a knockoff brand I had.
I had older brothers.
Oh, but you didn't have a new light bright.
No.
So you had all the ones with the templates already poked holes and stuff.
Hand-me-downs.
Yeah. Wade Barrett coming out next, and he comes out to new music.
Yes. Very cool music.
Intense music. It's got like a countdown-ish kind of.
It's like it was almost like a heartbeat going on.
like a beat. That's what it was. And then he comes out and he's just in tight t-shirt, no more jacket.
Yep.
He just looks like he looks like a fighter.
Yeah,
actually, he almost has an MMA fighter look at that point.
Well, he was the bare knuckle brawler,
That's
so
what he was.
he should.
So when I first saw him, I was like, he's like the new modern age Steve Blackman at this point.
Yeah,
just because even
boy.
with the black hair and the goatee look.
Like they should do like a Fight Club type thing with him.
It's just hard, I think, to play the angle because it looked like that's what they were going to do from those vignettes when he came back when it was all about the barrage.
Right, that's true.
But
and part of it might be, taping the hands might be a bit difficult with Punk taping his hands, and you don't want a gimmick infringement. So.
I suggested I think there would be a great way to improve this entrance, take it to the next level, and really make him a star. Is the way that heartbeat was, they should drop the lights on the crowd, and on that heartbeat, throw the strobe flashes, boom, boom, and then when he comes out and he's on the stage for those last 2 or 3, he just gives the hit of the elbow with the strobe, and then gives his intensity, and then comes down. We said keep the lights dropped and just follow him with the spotlight until he gets in the ring, and then you got the strobe again for the final double elbow shot where he hits the hard cam pose. No budget. It could be done with everything they have now. Costs nothing to do. Takes about 30 minutes of light programming, and we are good to go for months. Book it, WWE. Production right there. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
Make him a star. Huge entrance.
Absolutely.
It's all about the entrance in terms of making stars.
Similar to Taz's entrance, right? Back in Attitude Era, right?
Absolutely.
With our
Absolutely. Very similar aspect. Except that Taz had that feel and then just came stalking to the ring, where Barrett still has that impact vibe.
And we were also mentioning Triple H a little bit too with the lighting.
Yeah, with the strobe vibe of it. Barrett and Fandango. just contrast as a tag team. It's great.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Barrett didn't know what to
A ballroom dancer and a bare knuckle brawler.
Yeah, and then you see Fandango hitting his little struts, poses, and flamboyant, somewhat effeminate type of walks. And Barrett's like, "What am I partnered with tonight? I don't need to partner with the fairy boy like you."
This is the best way to use Fandango.
I feel like he's gotten more flamboyant over the last week or so.
Absolutely.
Since he shaved, and something about those new pants. I don't know what it is.
I love the new pants. The clean shaven look has definitely helped, because I always said every time, I was like, does he have a mustache? And then it was just that goatee. I think he looks better clean shaven.
I like it with a little scruff.
I think he comes off more arrogant clean shaven though.
Yeah,
No, I think he comes off more arrogant when he has a little scruff.
Really?
Yeah.
And
I can't take him seriously anymore.
I guess
he's got, what's that guy?
When I say arrogant, it's just a pretty boy.
Max.
Oh, Maxim.
He's got like a Max vibe to me. It's just like he's more
Max
sleazy.
We're clean cut.
He's more when he's
Derek
clean
Huff,
cut. He's
but
yeah.
Even though
So
he's
it's
more.
like whichever
is a
Fandango
little
you
scrap.
want, you know.
Does he?
Yeah.
And we talked last night how Jericho and Fandango have been like a half a step off of each other, but tonight they
clicked,
weren't.
baby.
Clicking tonight. This whole
Everything
thing
clicked.
everything was great.
Right from the start, this was good. Kathy, we got 4 good-looking men in the ring, or at least from a man's perspective, I would say that. Miz,
You
Jericho,
said who's the best person?
Wade Barrett, and Fandango. Let's
Who's
rank
the
them.
best-looking person in the ring? And I said the ref.
No, you said not the ref. That's what you said. You said definitely not the ref.
putting
Mike
words in my
Chioda
mouth.
getting an insult right there.
Yeah.
Putting words in my mouth.
No, but let's see. Let's rank the wrestlers. I'd like to get a woman's perspective on this, because I mean,
I don't know.
Padgett, you're not afraid to rank it. Go rank it.
I was actually doing
What
it
are
in
you
my head
talking
right now.
about?
I'm like,
The Shield are the 3 hottest guys,
No,
right?
in these right now,
But
rank the
not
4.
in the ring.
Oh, okay.
Fandango is definitely the top of my list.
Oh, really?
Lord.
What about Miz?
Are we doing
He's a movie
looks or
star.
personalities?
We're going looks, but sometimes
girls-
personality improves
girls
you.
rank
No,
them
no,
with both.
total
If it's
package.
personality, you gotta go
total
Jericho,
package,
right?
Yeah, total package Jericho. Then
See, like the Gordon Ramsay look.
I would say, shoot.
The Gordon.
I think Jericho looks like Gordon Ramsay.
A little bit, I see.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Barrett's a good-looking dude.
Yeah,
He's
I
a
haven't seen
man.
much of his personality.
ruggedly-
I would say,
ruggedly
I would say Fandango and Miz like both around the same, and then Barrett takes a very close
I
third.
think Miz may be on the bottom of my good looks list.
Oh,
there.
really? Aw, poor Miz.
That's sad.
Oh
He's
man.
getting a little squinchy these days.
Jericho and Miz make an interesting tag team. You see a future with
Yeah.
these guys?
No.
Being a tag team?
No.
What'd you call them?
It was a one-night thing, but it was cool.
Physico? Jizz?
One night
The
team.
Jizz.
The Jizz.
Jizz 2J.
Y2 Jizz.
Oh
And you
man.
said I was inappropriate earlier.
Absolutely, I did.
You are
We
inappropriate.
find out that Road Dogg is backstage on the WWE
Oh,
app,
yeah.
if you wanted to know.
We need the New Age Outlaws out there more often running tag team matches.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do that.
Yeah.
And then Caitlyn came in apparently to have a conversation with Road Dogg on the
Yes.
app. And then we go to commercial. But Fandango and Y2J are clicking with an aggressive style in this match. We come back from commercial. Miz is in control and boots Barrett in the face. Goes for the figure 4. And Fandango jumps off the
This is
apron,
tremendous.
grabs the microphone, and says everybody how to pronounce his name of Fandango.
And I think it threw us all off. We're like, wait,
We are like, what's going on?
What's going on? Did he
Where's
tag out? What's
Jericho
going
to
on?
tell him not to do that?
He just jumped out and grabbed the microphone and
And
starts
then I
dancing.
think at this point you were like, was he supposed to do that? Or what's going on? And then his music hits and he starts dancing with Summer Rae.
for the rest of the match.
And it continues for the rest of the
Love
match.
that.
And they weren't very good, which was like very funny, like the way they were dancing.
Absolutely. I think it's a kick that she's not so good either. He is a terrible
Yeah.
dancer.
And
And they
so-
just keep putting over on commentary. You got JBL, this guy could become the greatest ballroom dancer in the world.
And now that they're playing that they're terrible, the Summer Rae thing actually works better than having a great dancer in there.
He is a dancing god.
I still like my girl.
I love her too. I think she was
miss her.
phenomenal, but where they seem to be going with this bad dancing thing, and Summer's clicking, and she's on a roster, and it saves money.
With all this going on, the Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett is getting destroyed in the ring by Chris Jericho. Jericho hits the code breaker.
He hit the Lion Salt, then he hit the code
he
breaker.
got destroyed.
Yeah.
And then I think they go tag Miz in, and Miz and Y2J are just smiling like, what is going on with this guy? And the dancing continues.
I know exactly what Dango was doing. I do this all the time in WWE 13. He was outside.
Waiting for the count.
Building out a special.
Till he comes up to beat him down to get a countdown.
Constantly taunting.
Constantly taunting.
Constantly taunting. I can't fault him for that.
He was building up his finishers.
It's a sound strategy.
Accidentally pick up the stairs sometimes when I'm outside.
That L1 button will get you.
Jericho actually gets the pin with that code breaker. Did it come off the top rope or something? Was Barrett coming off the ropes, or was it just from the air? It was an aggressive code breaker. I remember it looked really good.
I think it was just an aggressive.
Everyone was bumping like a champ tonight. Hits the code breaker, and then Miz and Jericho start stalking Fandango. It's so hard to say Fandango. Who starts stalking Fandango. He ditches Summer Rae, jumps the rail, and just like it was the Billboard Music Awards last night, where Miguel jumps the crowd to land on the stage and leg drops a member of the crowd and audience, Fandango starts running, turns the corner, and just pushes this larger gentleman in the crowd, and he takes a tumble, yo.
Did you notice it looked like at the very last millisecond, he looked like he was trying to like catch the guy's head as he was like running away?
He was like turning the corner and just ran the guy over.
This wasn't like you accidentally got like tapped in the shoulder in one of these. Oh, excuse me. I mean, this was off his feet. The guy hit the ground.
You thought it was a plant at first.
I just started thinking in my mind because even WWE was pushing and Layfield was pushing after the Billboard Awards last night. That Miguel clip with the crowd, the fact that he jumps the stage, and I mean that dude at the concert. I mean, he leg dropped a lady in the crowd.
You thought they were playing off last night's.
And then he grabbed the wrong girl afterwards.
It was so good.
They pushed the girl around. Yeah,
so funny.
He grabs the girl that pushed the girl out of the way.
The girl's bleeding on the ground.
He grabs the bully.
So I thought there was a potential that they were playing off of that, but then after all the replays and seeing how hard the guy went down and the fact that it was not mentioned by JBL at all, no. That dude got cold clocked, and I guarantee you he was escorted into the back to hang out and walk away with the t-shirt or a hat for his trouble.
That was probably the best night of his life. That was the highlight of your life.
He's like, I almost took out Fandango.
He was probably coming back from the concessions.
How awesome would it have been if he would have muscled up with that size and Fandango goes down with the shoulder block and he just gives the stare.
Hey, or boys, come on down.
It would have been better if the guy had just come back from the concession stand and had like beers.
Phenomenal.
Popcorn.
Summer Rae is left at the ringside area, and Chris Jericho, like the gentleman that he is, seduces her with his eyes. Extends
Is he seducing you right now, Clum? Like, what was that?
Yeah, I'm just giving sound effects.
That was very Homer Simpson. Seduction. Extends his hand, and him and Summer have a dance. And then as the dance is going on, as it comes to an end, as they get close and they make eye contact, and there's almost a moment, a spark, a little bit of chemistry, Chris Jericho goes... and gives her the palm and the wiggle and essentially laughs in her face.
She had a great reaction to that, too.
Oh, yeah.
I loved
Great
it.
facial.
Ultimate disrespect to a woman, right, Cathy? That's not cool.
You guys are terrible. What the?
Do you have a dirty? I said she had great facial expression.
Oh,
and once again, dirty mind.
Kathy, I think of you as this sweet, innocent, somewhat naive,
Cathy NC-17 Kelley,
inexperienced, like this innocent girl.
She's not.
I just thought it was funny that he was abbreviating. He was using abbreves.
The briefs.
We are 26 minutes into this broadcast,
and it's hot.
We are on fuego.
Yeah.
Because the AC is not on.
It's hot in here too. I'm sweating. Vicky Guerrero rocks the excuse me, and tells us that later Jack Swagger will compete in a matchup And for everyone that has downloaded the WWE app, you'll have your chance to vote on who his opponent will be. And it will either be the Great Khali, R-Truth, or Randy RKO out of nowhere Orton. And we were hoping it was going to be Khali.
Oh, I wanted it to be Khali. That would have been
when
amazing.
they threw everyone on the screen, the obvious immediate reaction is
Orton, of course.
Randy Orton. But we were all just sitting there hoping, man, I hope the audience screws WWE right there.
Yep.
And Khali could have his Y2J moment in the back.
Screw you and your flagpole.
Yeah, and then your
I like to add the yodel to the Punjabi.
Yeah, we didn't
Cesaro,
get the yodel. No Cesaro today.
I'm combining two, but I just think it kind of gives the feel.
It's funny.
This just continues to be on fire. We go to the backstage for a little bit of comedy right now. Kane and Daniel Bryan in... I think it's who started talking? Daniel Bryan or Kane? Who was first? I haven't written
Bryan.
down. Daniel Bryan says,
Bryan.
"I'm not the tag team champion. Champions. You're not the tag team champions. We're not the tag team champions." And Kane's like, "Daniel, all this negativity is counterproductive." And Daniel Bryan's like, "Yeah, coming from the guy who likes to embrace the hate." And then Daniel's like, now that we don't have the championship belts, I feel naked. And Kane's like, "Well, maybe it's because you're not wearing a shirt or pants." Jokes? You want to make jokes? And Daniel Bryan's getting all fired up, and Kane's like, "Daniel, we can't show weakness because the Shield feeds on vulnerability." And Daniel Bryan's like, "Well, you're calling me the weak link? I'm not the weak link of this tag team." And then they start arguing, and it looks like we got some dissension in Team Hell No. And Kofi Kingston comes in and is like, guys. Calms everything down, maintains the situation, smooths everything over. He wasn't wearing any pants. Kane is so good when he does comedy.
Oh, Kane's good when he does everything.
He is one of my, Santino is a comedic wrestler because he's comedy. Mm-hmm. Kane is not comedy, so when Kane does comedy, it's funny.
Yeah, I think Kane's probably one of the most underrated guys of all time. Everyone knows
it's
how
tough
good
to
he
say
is.
underrated because he is so good, and he's considered
but
so
at the
good.
Same
but I
time,
know what you're saying.
You know what I mean, right? He's not always put when you think of all the great big guys or whatever. Kane's not always thrown up there, but he really should be up there with everybody.
Next segment, we get a recap from last night on the app, the post-game show. We find out, we go to the locker room area where Mark Henry is recovering from his matchup against Sheamus, the strap match where he lost. And as the interviewers, whoever the host, who's hosting the app, tries to ask Mark Henry his opinions on the match, Mark Henry looks at the camera and he says he's going home.
No.
Yeah, I hope it did. Have you heard anything about? Is he taking time off?
He looked kind of tired last night.
He did, right?
Because he just came back not too long ago.
I had heard rumors since before that comeback that he was wanting to go, that he was ready to take some time off, call it quits. And I don't know if it was that he was needed. I don't know if it was that he wanted to make sure his body was good that he wanted to know that he can come back from an injury and know that his body's, but I had heard for probably, I'd say 6 months that he was looking to end it.
Wow.
I hope not, because, if he is, I'd like to see that maybe they play this for a month or two, give him time, let him come back for one more strong run, let him have one more championship run.
Yeah.
Because the only reason that other the Hall of Pain championship run ended was because of that injury.
And didn't he just come back right before Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, it's only been 3-4 months or whatever it is.
Months.
It's the start of the year. I hope he's back.
Yeah.
Action continues on this amazing episode of Raw. Excuse me. Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior, taking on Titus O'Neil, and this was based on, once again, an angle that was started in the post-show recap on WWE's app. In the post-show, apparently Titus O'Neil called out Sheamus, and now we get a response. So we're starting to get some continuity between the storylines and the social media and the television programs and using supplemental content. I think WWE's doing a pretty terrific job of leveraging social media to their advantage.
For sure. I can't believe Titus O'Neil is getting himself a singles match against Sheamus. This better not be a squash. I'm sitting here looking at this going, that's my man. I love Titus.
We're sitting going, hopefully Titus can go over in this as well, because I could really make Titus tonight. But I made him anyways.
Wow.
This was a great step up for Titus tonight.
Sheamus kind of took control at the very beginning, sends Titus over the top, and Titus started taking some bumps. I mean, he went over the top hard. Just things looked good, selling well, snapped well. It just looked effective. Everything, the whole show tonight looked really real.
Yeah, they handed Titus the ball a little bit tonight, and he really ran with it. You know, he really took the best of the opportunity they gave him tonight.
Yeah.
Sheamus tries to go for a standard, clubbing on the ropes. Titus is trying to fight off, and it was one of those fight-offs that actually came off real again. It wasn't like, it's just stupid. Like, it seemed like he really was trying to get out of it.
Yep.
Last night in chat roll, people didn't like Sheamus, and I didn't understand.
Well, I didn't like that match last night either.
I didn't. Yeah.
And it's just, and it wasn't that it was bad. It just, for me, last night just didn't click because it wasn't what I wanted and it wasn't what I anticipated. I don't think anything was bad. It just wasn't what I liked. I mean, I started reading a lot of reviews, though, of like fans, and from various, message boards, dirt sheets, whatever, when fans write in and give their response. Most people see there were things that people didn't like, and there were segments and things they had problems with, but it sounded like most people genuinely enjoyed the pay-per-view last night.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Whereas we didn't really have that perspective from our end.
We didn't hate it, but
we didn't like it either.
No,
we still said
I feel like
C+.
if all four of us watched it in a different place,
it might have been
and
different.
then came together, we would still all not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think it's the anticipation thing. I was anticipating a great show just because I thought this one was great on paper, and it didn't live up to the hype. That's the key of WWE pay-per-views is lower your anticipation, and then they usually go above and beyond, and you're satisfied.
Yeah.
You go in with high hopes, and they can't hit your expectations.
I think that's why we always have great Monday Night Raws after the pay-per-views, because the bookings look so good on the pay-per-views,
and we're like,
and then we get to see the follow-up, which is where it makes sense and it comes together. Titus, after taking those clubbing shots from Sheamus, gets pushed off the apron, crashes his head on the canvas that made us once again I mean, like he hit his head legit.
Yeah, and he didn't really, but it was a great sell by
Darren tries to get involved. Darren Young trying to interfere on Titus's behalf, and instead gets thrown into the guardrail by Sheamus. But then Titus is able to capitalize with the clothesline, and I think at that moment we noticed the corner sign. The one we saw behind Heyman.
Yeah.
I think that was the
behind
first.
Heyman.
Yeah, I think that was when we first.
Very clear.
Oh, was that the first time? I thought it was the Heyman time. I thought we only saw it that one time.
I thought we saw that sign twice.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
At that point.
Boom. Titus ends up coming back. Now he's got control. Brings Sheamus into the ring. Huge fall-away slam, but I don't even know if you can call it a fall-away slam because
he didn't fall. Slam.
Yeah.
It was a throwaway slam.
Yeah, I like that throwaway slam. And then you have JBL on commentary putting over the fact that Titus O'Neil is a genetic freak. And Titus, after that move, was just like, "You think you're tough? You think you're freaking tough?"
And they beeped it.
And they beeped it. And everyone on the internet thinks he said the bad word.
He thought he said the word that Josh loves to say on air all the time.
We all thought that he swore, and then when we went and replayed, it looks like he mouthed freaking.
Yeah, he did.
I know. I hope.
And I think that was
unnecessary censorship.
Yeah. I love unnecessary censorship with the.
But it's okay because you have it and it makes it.
The Sesame Street one's the best on Kimmel. I love it.
Yeah, you do. That's actually a trick that you do in reality TV is you beep words that aren't swears to make
I remember on
like
The Surreal
swearing.
Life, there was always a moment where they made it look like Ron Jeremy flashed whoever, like in the first season, whoever it was, and they said he was wearing underwear and he took off his towel.
Absolutely.
And, oh, no, it was Eric Estrada flash, they said, and he took off his towel. But yeah, little tricks of the trade just to make you think that things are more risque and extreme than they are.
Beep words that aren't swears.
Titus has a bloody mouth at this point, but continues with an impressive offense tonight because he picks Sheamus up. I won't say pump handle style because it wasn't really a pump handle, but he had an arm twist kind of maneuver, had him up, and then sent him down with like a 360 slam. Sheamus goes down face first. It was pretty impressive, not a move we always see. Sheamus then headbutts Titus O'Neil to try to get back control, boots him in the corner. Sheamus then takes over, goes for white noise. Titus O'Neil counters. Sheamus goes for his catapult over the top rope, that shoulder block. Darren pulls the legs. Titus hits the knee and takes over right there. Titus charges the corner, bombs in hard. I mean, Sheamus got out of the way, and Titus took that corner, man.
Yeah, he did.
This guy was out there to prove a point tonight that he said, I am sick of not being on TV. I am at least sick of not being on Raw. Give me my shot. Give me my opportunity. Give me my spotlight, and give me my chance to shine so I can make millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars. I mean, even in a losing effort, because Sheamus does hit white noise, does hit the brogue, does get the 3-point, even in a losing effort, MVP of this match, the real deal, Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. To Titus.
Man, it was
amazing.
close. We thought he was going to get it.
We were hoping he would. We were
on a show where
we're like, duck the brogue, duck it, duck it.
On a show where we learn, because obviously we don't know at this point yet, but as the show progresses and we learn that it's about elevating the future of this company, I would have loved to have seen him be elevated to a higher stature and status.
But he was still elevated with this match. Even losing, I think he showed everybody what he can do
Not
tonight.
many people throw him around like that.
So is that bad news for Darren Young then? I mean, he's got a team, and honestly, Titus just emerged as the star of that team, and I don't know if Darren can step up and equal the quality. Darren's good. I enjoy him.
Very good.
And let's not forget, he stepped up in the ring tonight, but a couple months ago is when he started stepping up on the mic and doing all that
now
stuff
it's coming together.
where they were loving his promos.
Do you think Darren's been holding him back?
No. Darren brought it out.
Darren brought it out of him. Yeah.
But what's funny is in Darren bringing it out of him, Darren ended up becoming, just casting the shadow of Titus O'Neil.
Because if before this they were on NXT before NXT was rebranded on season 4.
I mean, I've seen them on SmackDown a bunch of times.
Right, but before they were tag team partners, Titus was a good guy. He was a babyface, and he was very boring. He was very, very boring. He was probably the most milquetoast babyface you'll ever see.
And if you're gonna make it,
get rid of this guy now.
Make it a win.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I don't remember what the quote was.
It was pretty much that.
Yeah, and Darren was a heel, and they put them together and turned Titus heel, and it just brought this personality out of Titus and reinvented him.
When you try to make, I don't remember. Someone in chat roll, tell us what that original Darren Young bad quote, where Titus O'Neil bad quote was. It's the make it a win, but there was like a sentence where he originally said it, and then it became his signature phrase. But it was so awful. But it was one of those moments on that original NXT where when he said it, you wanted it like. I felt so sad because it was like, because I liked him and he's such a likable guy and he cared. And at that point in his career, he was pushing the positive role model and his positive influence
He's
vibe.
got a different voice, and the way he was a babyface, it made him sound goofy when he would talk.
Well, and it's just his words didn't, and the words just didn't click how he wanted it to say. So it transitioned, and he tried to hit his catchphrase, and it just in context came out bad.
The way the old NXT was
but I've liked him ever since.
Yeah, and he's emerged. I mean, you never know when a guy gets the right thing. I mean, I remember Stone Cold Steve Austin as a kid used to bore me to tears. Stunning Steve became the greatest character of all time.
We're not even through hour 1 of this broadcast, and we have been talking for 36 minutes, and thus I gotta let you guys know, if you like what we talk about, head on over to iTunes, where you could keyword AfterBuzz and rate, subscribe, and comment about each and every one of our shows. That's right here, Monday Night Raw. We also do Main Event for WWE. We do SmackDown. We do the pay-per-views. And if you like things that have nothing to do with professional wrestling, all of the drama shows, all of the sitcoms, all of the exciting TV you love is available to watch after show recaps, courtesy of AfterBuzz TV, courtesy of Bing. We Bing it on, baby. And as you said, Scandal, our Scandal show got put over on ABC because it's hot.
They just had like a big star from Game of Thrones on their show yesterday.
Stars.
Yeah, lots of
Kathy
people.
did some interviews of a big star this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Nickelodeon star, YouTube star. We are on fuego here at AfterBuzz TV. So go ahead, rate our shows, subscribe our shows, comment on our shows, tell your friends. It only takes a minute. Yeah, baby. 12 Rounds 2, Reloaded, starring Randy Orton. The trailer was good.
The trailer actually did look good.
The trailer was good. Orton looked like he could act in this.
Yeah.
He did. It was great.
That's so mean.
Yeah,
it's like he acts actually looked like he could act.
Well, come on, he's not Mr. Personality.
Yeah, well, I don't go by the best 30 seconds of a 2-hour movie that you put on screen. I went to film school. I know better than that.
We are at the 52-minute mark, and Paul Heyman comes to the ring to introduce us to the newest Paul Heyman guy.
And there were rumors on who this was going to be.
There were rumors circulating on the internet that it was going to be Mr. Monday Night Rob Van Dam. In fact, it was a Tampa radio station that had leaked that, saying that they had heard that it was Van Dam. Apparently, the internet has been swerved.
Or do you think maybe that's what it was supposed to be, and they were like, "Screw it, we're switching the angle"?
No, based on what it became, definitely a calculated plan. Heyman gets on the mic and says, "Go ahead and boo me. Get it out of your system." And at this point, we start discussing, will Paul Heyman be considered the best manager ever? Everyone, hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts,
I think he's a 2.
unequivocally says Bobby the Brain Heenan is the greatest manager of all time.
I think Heyman's a 2.
The question is over the course of the next 5 years, will Heyman establish himself as bigger and better than the Brain?
He could.
It could happen.
It could happen. I think he's at number 2 right now. I think he's jumped Jimmy. I think he's jumped a lot of those guys. As we were talking, just everything he's done promoting, which all those other managers didn't. Some of them did promotions, but not to the level that he did.
Heenan's the best. Heenan's who every manager strives to be and be as good as. But I'm just sitting there thinking that when you go put it down and go look and go trade accolades and look at the history.
We're talking just on camera. If you just even if you just want to talk on camera, he's up there.
Even just on camera, the aura of Heyman being Heyman and the ECW legacy will still come into play. Because even though Heyman wasn't a character on ECW, he was still that executive producer with the leather jacket and the headset mic who came in at certain moments to do things.
And let's not forget the Dangerous Alliance back in WCW.
Absolutely, the history.
He was Steve Austin's manager, I believe, right? At one point.
I think people are just not going to want to give him that honor over Heenan because Heenan does deserve to be considered the best.
And Heenan also is funny, and also Heyman's a little more unlikable and sleazy. So some people just don't like him because of that.
Heyman is more influential on society than Heenan ever was. Heyman's influence goes outside of pro wrestling into the MMA league. The fact that Heyman wrote Brock Lesnar's autobiography or biography or ghost wrote it. I mean, Heyman is his production company involved in advertising. I mean, I know we're talking just wrestling. I know.
No, but you're right. Bobby was a talent. He's a talent and a producer as well.
And that's to me what just makes him eclipse Heenan.
And you guys haven't even mentioned Heenan's commentary.
Well, Heenan was the best. I mean, Heenan's still the best color guy.
Overall talent as doing managing.
I mean, Gorilla and Heenan, the best commentary team.
Needs to.
Yeah, sorry. I was just gonna say Gorilla and Heenan best commentary team, but Heyman was a great commentator on SmackDown
with
as
Jim
well.
Ross,
and it was Heyman who brought a new sound to commentary that made us say, "Wow, we need a character back on commentary again."
Yeah, actually, Jim and Heyman didn't really get along very well, so there was always kind of this edge between the two of them.
My client Brock Lesnar emerged victorious, and Triple H had to tuck his sledgehammer between his legs and go run home to mommy. And now that Brock Lesnar has fulfilled his obligations, the question is what's going to happen to Paul Heyman? What's next for Paul Heyman? And this is the moment in history that will take a left turn. So all of you people watching, hit record on your DVRs right now, because I, Paul Heyman, give to you the newest Paul Heyman guy. Lights. Curtis Axel.
Curtis Axel.
I think he said Kurt on the first one, and then it became Curtis. I
wish we had to get that new music.
You guys are 5.
You think they put that up on iTunes yet?
I think it's got to be.
It's got to be up there soon. Right?
I mean, the house remix of Mr. Perfect's theme.
Oh, with an electric guitar.
And they've got to release it, Mr. Perfect, because I've been looking for that. It hasn't been up on iTunes.
Did anyone think it was going to be him?
No.
Which is what I like.
Which is great.
Which is great.
I mean, anytime with the way things are with social media and with secrets and leaks and spoilers, when you can pull the wool over the eyes of the entire community, the audience, everybody.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Yeah. Well done. Kudos to WWE. Yeah. We are in hour one. We completed hour one, and you guys continue to be on fire tonight.
And people have been waiting for them to finally take Joe Hennig and kind of go with his legacy route instead of just this Michael McGillicuddy.
Yeah. And he got a great reaction from the crowd. Somewhat stunned at first, but then the appreciation began.
And he showed some personality.
And the cheers began. He showed a little fire himself, a little zest, a little sizzle. And Heyman says to all of the people in attendance, "You've proven me right once again." Because this is the same reaction we got back in 2002 when I gave you the NCAA National Champion, Brock Lesnar. And this is the same reaction you guys gave in 2006 when I introduced you to the new ECW heavyweight champion, CM Punk. And there's the legacy. And then you look at this guy right here, and he carries a legacy, and he carries a heritage, and he carries a, check out how I use this word, pedigree. And we all wonder why he isn't currently a main event player, why he hasn't been used. Because here in the WWE, a legacy is an albatross. Nepotism doesn't get you opportunities. It, in fact, gets you shunned. And Paul Heyman is excited to introduce to all of you this third-generation superstar who is out to carve his own niche, out to make his own legend. He has taken his father's first given name of Kurt. He has taken his grandfather's name of Larry, being Larry the Axe Hennig, and together it has become the man you see in this ring. Ladies and gentlemen, the next and newest Paul Heyman guy, Curtis Axel.
Very good.
And I repeat, Curtis Axel.
I like Kurt Axel better.
Because the crowd didn't give the reaction there, and I think that's what it was. They were like, Curtis?
Yeah.
What happened to Kurt?
They got to drop the Curtis and go with Kurt.
This is where we
I think it'll happen. You'll usually see something like that.
I think so too. It's like the Fandango to the Fandango.
I think that was a typo.
And the Lord Tensai.
I think the Fandango was a typo. Honestly.
Now, do you think is that statement true?
Well, no, he is Fandango. Fandango.
Do you think they meant to have like but it was like looked like.
All right, let's go back to Curtis Axel. Screw Fandango.
He already got his time.
Okay, this becomes the end of hour one. We go into hour two as Triple H's music hits. The Game comes to the ring. And he says to Paul Heyman, "Wow, you could sure whip up a batch of Kool-Aid." And then I want to say, now it's funny. Everyone hates the McGillicuddy name, but now I think everyone's going to keep referring to him as McGillicuddy. So then as Axel kind of starts to move in, like he's going to say something to Triple H. Triple H is like, "Hey, all right, the adults are having a conversation, Junior, out of the way." And he says, "You could spin it any way. But don't say that I'm embarrassed and I ran away last night, because I'm not. I went to war with Brock Lesnar last night. And I was in the back as you were running your garbage chute. And just to make me happy, and just because I can, I wanted to come out here and beat the crap out of you." And then Curtis Axel steps in. And he says, "Hey, you don't understand. The game around here has changed. You want to talk to him? You're going to have to talk to me first." And Heyman is cracking up in the background. He's cackling away.
Awesome.
And Triple H looks at Curtis Axel and he slaps him in the face. He gives him a good one.
Drops him.
Drops him down. Curtis Axel looks weak and vulnerable. Triple H says, "I changed my mind. I want to have a match against you. And when I'm done kicking his ass, He looks at Paul Heyman. I'm going to kick yours.
The game's on.
Game is on, baby.
Yeah. And poor Paul's like, get up! Get up, coach! Get up!
When Triple H's music hit at first, we were like, oh, they are about to make this kid tonight.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
We were like, this is the moment where a new made man is made.
Yeah, and we've always heard how much
a made man is made by the making of being made by the man who make them.
Yes.
Because when you want to make a win,
and we know,
that's right.
and we know, we've heard that Triple H really loves Joe Hennig, and he's one of his.
It was the original
guys.
match 2 years ago, the Rock versus Cena WrestleMania match. The Rock trained with Curtis Axel to get ready for that match.
Hey, now can I ask you a question about the statement that Paul Heyman said about
You just
nepotism?
asked me a question.
Sorry, 2 questions then.
You want 2 more questions, or you're asking a second question?
All right, listen. Nepotism. He says it's an albatross.
Yes.
There is no nepotism. It's an albatross. Is that really true?
Of course, there's nepotism.
Well, yeah. I know there's complete nepotism.
But if it was
blatant,
well, it probably does, because it's tough to live in the shadow of a legend.
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
So it's tough to go let that second generation superstar, because you may get a Greg Gagne situation, a David Sammartino situation.
You get more of those than a Rock and a Randy Orton.
A David Flair situation where they just can't live up to the hype of their father or grandfather.
Carrie Von Erich's daughter, what's her name?
Lacey.
Lacey Von Erich.
Look at the fact that you got Richie Steamboat down in developmental, been there for years and still hasn't been brought up, and people speak highly of him. But for some
Dallas,
reason,
son of Mike Rotunda. Actually, let's go with the Rotunda brothers. 2 of them, 2 very different. Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas. Bray's got it. Bo, we're not sure yet. But their dad, Mike Rotunda, was incredibly talented back in the 80s.
Ricardo
and 90s, I think you're right.
Ricardo Rodriguez to the top of the stage. Vamos, caballeros! Caballeros? I don't speak Spanish very well.
Vamos.
It was Vamos, caballeros. Caballeros.
Caballeros.
Caballeros.
Caballeros, yeah.
Vamos, caballeros! Blah, 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 blah. Alberto! Del Rio!
Chewy's not going to like you stealing his gimmick.
That was probably my best ever.
That was good.
Alberto Del Rio to the ring to take on the man who was in the back, in the shadow of the reigning champion, Dolph Ziggler. Big E Langston coming out to his theme song, coming out with the chalk in hands. The name of that song is called I Need 5, and it is available on iTunes.
Did he have the chalk?
He did.
I didn't know.
He had the chalk today.
I didn't know. I must have turned down. Good.
Great start of action once again, right from the get-go.
And on fire, another young, up-and-coming guy that they're pushing that was just on fire tonight.
Del Rio goes for the arm right from the get-go as usual, trying to set up that cross-arm breaker right from the beginning. And Langston just showing the fact that he's got power. Every time Del Rio grabs the arm, he just kind of muscled him up, lifts him up, able to re-maneuver, counter. And Del Rio just keeps holding on, though. And Del Rio won't let go through the exchanges of power. Big E ends up holding on at one point on the outside and just swings Alberto Del Rio into the corner post. We get some more awesome maneuvers and awesome action in this match. I mean, Big E Langston had something to say tonight. He said, hey, I don't wrestle too much. You guys are doing the slow build with me, but you don't have to build me so slow because I am the man and I can take the ball and run with it. And you will see the fact that now that Dolph is hurt and the ball has been fumbled, I will pick it up and I will run all the way down that field and past the goal line and score the 6. Spike that ball down with pride and with showmanship and with charisma. Beautiful. Del Rio hits a tornado DDT off the top in this match, and a great bump by Big E Langston.
Another big dude doing awesome bumps tonight.
Del Rio with the huge backstabber. Once again, a consecutive great bump by Big E Langston. And then Big E just gets his hands on Del Rio and dumps him on the outside. Throws him to the out. Action continues. Del Rio back in the ring, hits a strong, stiff enziguri kick. And then AJ rolls the bucket through the ring from the backside.
This was interesting.
The ref notices there's a bucket in the ring. Hey, there's a bucket. There can't be a bucket. We got to get this bucket out of here. He's distracted. as he's distracted, Big E is able to capitalize. Exactly. It was 1 second.
A second, just briefly took him away.
But in that split second, boom, fingers to the eye, scratch, rake, poke, whatever you want to call it, stuns Del Rio. Picks him up over the shoulder, hoists him up, big ending, and we were shocked that
Big E.
Dolph Ziggler was struggling in some matches against Del Rio for these last couple of months. But I would say with ease and authority and with an impressive demeanor, Big E Langston gets the win and is victorious over the number one contender.
Swags couldn't do it. Ziggs couldn't do it.
Nope.
Wow.
Hour and 20 minutes.
I think for the night too, Titus and Big E were the big surprises of the night.
Big time,
that really took that ball and stepped up tonight and ran. They are the two that emerged tonight.
The commencement of something. I was going to say commencement of charisma, but that didn't work either. My bad. You can't win them all. Hour 20 into the broadcast, and we get our first recap tonight.
Wow.
So once again, we've only, if I'm mistaken, we've only gotten one plug. There are two plugs of the app. We got the Road Dogg and Caitlin little graphic on the screen, and then we got the plug based on that we're running storylines with the voting. And now we get our first recap. So this is very different than what we're used to on Raw over the last few months of recap after recap.
How few recaps there were. There's so much content.
Hour 20 in, we find out about the start of the show with the Ryback intro, and that is fine because people may have missed those first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a long recap. We didn't watch the whole entire segment
and it was important. It's important storyline-wise, so absolutely.
I mean, Josh missed the first 5 minutes, so he needed it.
But usually, even when they've been doing these recaps, they give you 10-minute recaps of the whole segment. We just watch it again.
And then they commentate on the entire thing.
Yeah. And instead, they cut it down to what was important. Let us see what it was, and it was an effective recap. And then we go to the backstage area where Triple H is preparing himself for the match, and we find out that it's the first time in 3 years that Triple H will have a match on Raw. We were pretty shocked by this, trying to figure it out. But all of his marquee matches have been WrestleMania style, and it's just promo hypes.
Just promos and contract signings.
And they did a main event match.
Is this also the moment then that the doctor came in saying that he doesn't? No, that happens later.
No, that was later.
Happens later.
That was in third hour.
Fine. We go to a Divas matchup. We come into action in the ring. We see that Layla is already there. AJ is perched in her little seat between the second and third row.
Looking
you say
so
you love
cute.
it.
I like it. And then you said you do that,
You know who else looks cute when they do that?
Are you going to say you?
I am.
He does that.
I don't do it in matches, so I'm not saying.
I can't do it because my legs are too long.
Well, you don't ever have an issue where your feet don't reach the floor. I have that issue on depending on the couch I'm sitting on, or if it's a large, I'll use the word throne.
Yeah, that's not an issue.
If it's a handicap throne, there could be an issue. My feet may fall asleep. You guys. Layla versus AJ. AJ pushing her new little T-shirt. Love Bites. The spider.
That's crazy that's the first Divas shirt.
I don't think it's the first.
That's what people have been saying.
No,
Trish
had shirts. Is it just the first in a really long time?
No, Trish had shirts. Lita had shirts. Right?
They all had shirts.
Then why can't they all have shirts?
Not all wrestlers have shirts.
Costs money to make shirts.
Yeah, not everybody gets them. 100%. You're 100%.
And Italian one.
And they're low on money supply, aren't they?
But they're not going to put money into somebody if they don't think they sell.
Yeah,
but not everybody sells shirts. So
I'm trying to think. No, there's definitely been Diva shirts. That is not the first Diva shirt.
Definitely not. And
AJ's first, for sure.
And we had Christian.
I know that's what they've been saying.
We had Christian Rosenberg in with us, and he suggested he thinks AJ needs new music.
Yeah, he said that this stuff is too cheerful. And I said, well, there's almost a contrast of that irony of she's so crazy and you have the cheeriness, so it's a creepiness
or
there.
Get her some psycho music.
But I think the psycho music would actually get her a more evil heel-like response from the crowd.
You're starting to get the Daphne territory.
But you do. Yeah, absolutely, that's true. But the thing is even though AJ is a heel, the crowd still likes her.
Yeah.
They may not cheer her, so to speak, but everyone finds her cute and adorable and likes her.
Yeah.
So I think the music change would change that vibe.
Is that the difference between good heat and bad heat? I think this is...
Here's our second plug of the app, because the Bellas are on the app talking about this match, and they're like, hey, is that a rat in the ring? What? Is she wearing shorts from the 80s?
And the funniest thing is when someone said, "Did they just call AJ a rat?" And the King,
JBL says, "Did they just call her a rat?"
And then the King goes, "That was like 4 months. That was like 4 months ago, wasn't it?"
Good action back and forth. Nothing that really stands out in terms of the maneuvers during the matchup, but it was
combo with the kicks with Layla. That was a fun little.
There was a couple little missed times, but as I said, it may not have been perfect, but I still enjoyed it. It didn't bother me. I think they recovered and acted as if it went exactly how it was supposed to go.
Mistakes,
good matchup.
Yeah, botches aren't always really mistakes and problems. It's not what the mistakes.
It's the reaction.
It's the reaction and how you cover it up. Everyone makes mistakes. It happens.
Yeah, AJ
in almost every match.
Triple neck breakers and like that third one kind of. But you know what? You didn't even notice.
And sometimes a little mistake like that actually makes things look more credible and more real. Yeah. At times.
So I said,
those
are all fine.
I'm a big fan of Layla. I think she has talent galore.
She's beautiful.
I think she's a pretty girl. I think she's charismatic. I don't know what it is because they go up and down. I mean, when she came back from injury, they gave her a championship right away.
For a while, she was featured for a long time, and then they, switched it to somebody else. And
but I think these two girls together, Layla and AJ, would work a great program.
Yes.
We have Caitlyn who's improving, every single month.
Working.
You get Oksana who makes slow improvements. You got the Bellas. I think we are slowly. You got Tamina.
And then down in OVW, in NXT, you've got the Davina Rose. We saw.
You got Paige.
Man, she's good.
So I think Davina Rose is now Bailey, I believe.
Yeah, that's her name, Bailey.
Paige.
And then Paige is excellent.
You just said Paige like 6 times.
Because Paige.
I mean, I know she's awesome.
Yeah. And Paige.
How about Paige?
You've got what's her name
Voice of
from
Choice?
The one with it starts with a P.
Sasha Banks.
Paige.
We've got Sasha Banks down there. There's some good girls.
Yeah.
The Black Widow gets applied awesome submission
very
maneuver.
cool move for her.
AJ gets the win, the little girl.
It's a modified tarantula, right? Basically.
It's slightly different. It's a modified octopus.
A modified octopus.
And you know what?
Tarantulas
in the ropes. That's right.
That Victoria always did too.
Tajiri did that.
Right, and then Victoria did it as the girls.
Yes.
And then the octopus Tajiri also did, but that would be his center of the ring.
Yeah.
Essentially, the octopus becomes a modified abdominal stretch, and that's essentially what that is.
Gail Kim does the octopus, I think.
Yeah, she actually does.
Yeah.
You're right. And it's a modified abdominal stretch.
Yeah.
It's a cooler, and it's like 20 times cooler because the abdominal stretch is not a cool move, and the octopus is.
But the abdominal stretch
the Black Widow.
I wonder how that feels to be in, because the abdominal stretch is actually not a very fun move to be put in. It's really uncomfortable.
It could stretch you.
It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Zack Ryder taking on Cody Rhodes. Action gets started right from commercial with no ring introductions. And here, all of a sudden, now we're getting the flow of the plugs because Ryback is watching on the back, watching in the back. Back and forth matchup, strong once again. No highlights, stellar moments, and spots that I'm going to sit and remember, but it was clicking. Every match on this show tonight was good, man.
Every match was what it needed to be. Essentially.
Cody comes off the ropes, hits the disaster kick for the win. Poor Zack Ryder losing again, but then...
What's that?
Could be Zack Ryder music. I don't know.
Is that the old Zack Ryder music?
I don't know. I don't know.
Cody Rhodes.
That's Cody's music. I get.
Okay. It's the intro.
Because we always start from the. Yeah. We're all like clueless right there.
Yeah.
But change that music because Ryback's music hits, and he comes down the entranceway wearing a brand new T-shirt with a bear trap on the back.
Ryback rules.
And a bear trap on the back. And Ryback does rule, and he hits a huge power bomb on Zack Ryder, follows it with a shell shock, and carries Ryder out to the back, throws him into the ambulance, stands in that position of the stage area, and goes... He hits the Tarzan chest bang, and we go to commercial right there.
And this was a cool little kind of plug for the ambulance match as well, of him just going and beating him up and then sending the ambulance off. It was a cool way to do that.
They are connecting the dots on this episode. They have formatted a phenomenal episode of Raw.
I know we're very hard on the creative team sometimes, so I guess we should
need to give them credit where credit is due, because as I have always said,
excellent job tonight.
WWE writers, man, it's funny. it's the one job in WWE that it's like I really actually wouldn't ever want, because when things are awesome and the product is on fire, it's because the wrestlers are so good, and everyone will give credit that all the wrestlers are amazing.
Yeah.
And then when everything is bad, it's, man, creative can't write good stuff to save their life. So there is no accolades, there are no kudos.
Like,
so today, here at AfterBuzz TV, we give hashtag kudos to creative.
It's like being an offensive lineman in football.
Yeah.
You know, it really is. If you do your job, no one notices. The minute you screw up, everybody starts pointing fingers.
I feel like the problem is that they have so many shows to rate every single week.
That's
and if you think about like a normal series, it's
24 hours a year.
12 episodes every
they write
season.
over 200 episodes a year of television.
A normal TV series, you're looking at like reality and cable television are about 13 episodes, and some of these new dramas are going about 13. But
52 episodes of Raw, 52 episodes of SmackDown, 52 episodes of Main Event, 52 episodes of superstars that we don't see on TV.
If you're looking at a show like CSI, they do about 20 to 24 episodes a year, and that's an hour. You're looking at about 44 minutes of content for 20 to 24 episodes, and it's an incredible amount of TV they have to write. An incredible amount.
Yeah,
no other type of show has to do that.
I want to give creative the kudos as well. I mean, tonight was
kudos to creative.
Awesome tonight. But I thought, I mean, you talked about connecting the dots, and I even thought a better dot
and logic. Most of the stuff was logical tonight too. It made sense.
But what if?
I love kudos. They taste good. The ones with
I remember
M&Ms.
a kid when they came out. I actually remember when they originally launched.
I remember those too.
I was in junior high.
What's that?
Sorry, Josh. We just ignored you. We just ignored you. That would be great if AfterBuzz shipped, sent a little. That would be awesome to go send kudos to creative.
Yeah.
And go send a
everybody send kudos to go.
Actually, all of our fans that would be willing to send one box of kudos to I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is 1241 East Main Street, Stamford, Connecticut. I don't know the zip.
Send it to the creative team.
Attention, creative department.
Yeah.
From AfterBuzz.
AfterBuzz TV fans.
What's the date today for 520 Raw?
And then put a little note, hashtag kudos to creative from your friends and fans of the fans of AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah, that's funny when people do that.
I think people should do that. If you guys do that, oh my God, would I be excited.
That's how they got the show Jericho back on the air once.
The fans broke the walls down!
The fans sent peanuts to CBS, and they were just like, please stop sending us nuts. We'll put the show back on the air for a season.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. We're going military right now because it's time for Sierra, Hotel,
Indio,
Echo,
Lima,
Delta.
You guys don't even know.
I thought we were going to be able to go back.
Yeah, we
didn't try that out.
We were a half a step off, kind of like Jericho and Fandango last night. But next week we'll be like them this week, and we'll be on.
Six-man tag team matchup: The Shield taking on the team of Hell No and their partner Kofi Kingston. And at this point, The Shield makes their way down to the ring, but there's been an aesthetic change in their ring entrance.
Yes, there has been.
Because now it's Dean Ambrose, the reigning United States heavyweight champion, walking down the aisleway solo, where the pair, the duo, the tandem, the current tag team champions, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, come down the other aisle. And as they make their way through the crowd, they pass a set of fans. I think it's 3 or 4 fans who had a succession of signs that were spray painted in metallic silver that said, "Believe in the Shield." And we gotta say,
it was very close to where our AfterBuzz sign should have been, right?
I mean, if someone were trying to get a shot on camera and we're trying to make an effort through a broadcast that the sign would somehow be seen on camera, that was the spot to be.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Honestly, if you're gonna try to get a sign on, get some good seats, like.
Yeah.
And really shake that side every time you can.
Someone would even start shimmying, maybe dancing a little bit.
Buy the seats behind you so that you don't have to worry about holding up the sign the entire time.
Yeah.
Be excited about a broadcast
really need somebody to work hard to do that for us.
I'm Roman Reigns. I'm Seth Rollins. And they are the WWE Tag Team Champions. And I'm Dean Ambrose, and I am the United States champion. We brought power back to these titles. And in this past few months, we broke The Rock. We sent the dead man to rest in peace. We broke down Ryback so much and made him feel so helpless, so alone, and so betrayed that he snapped. The Shield did it, and they've done it all. And to all the non-believers and all of your heroes, one by one, no down to the swift... But maybe it's dramatic pause. One by one, it's got to be bow down because it makes no sense what I wrote. Down to the swift arm of justice. And then Seth Rollins says, "Justice isn't blind; it sees just fine. And you see justice before you, and you could see the future. And you know it's scary? We're just beginning." The Hound, Roman on the mic now for this one. If you don't know by my voice changes. The hounds of justice run this yard, and we carry the collars to back it up.
Love it.
The fire of justice is burning, and we are the flame. Believe in the Shield. I mean, is everything effing clicking tonight or what?
Everything.
God.
Everything.
I mean, this is what you hope as a wrestling fan what's going to happen week in and week out. You get awesome matches. You get incredible promos. You get excitement. Anticipation is built. This is freaking amazing.
Yeah, we're sort of like, when's this going to go bad? When's it going to go? When's the other shoe going to drop?
Next week.
Team Hell No makes their way to the ring, and this was that moment, though. It didn't go bad.
This is a short match, right?
But no. Wow, actually, now as we just say that, you're right. Start of hour. Oh my goodness.
This isn't. This hour 3 started halfway through it.
Oh, it started on the promo, correct? Like
no, I know
we weren't right.
The promo was a quarter
hour 3
up.
starts
We
when
were
the match is going. Yeah,
like right, halfway through the match is when hour 3 started.
I think a couple minutes in. But okay, so anyway, what I'm saying, nothing goes bad at this point, but the energy does change a little bit. The crowd. You got to understand. I mean, they've been there for a long time.
Mm-hmm. This crowd's been going nuts all night.
And they've been hot.
And it's been over 2 hours plus everything they shot before.
There is a noticeable change in energy at this point where they'll still react to everything needing reaction, but there isn't a constant buzzing sound of
right.
They're tired.
And they put the right match on here. They put this long match
to bring it up.
With some longer moments where they could put some holds on for the crowd. You know, the crowd was kind of down, so they had those kind of more down moments because the crowd was, and then built it back up and got the crowd really hot again.
So I think I remember, you're right, now that you say you're right, it was halfway through the match, or 15 minutes when we got to hour 3, because I remember what was said was these first 10 minutes, I was like, this has been solid and I'm enjoying it and it's great, but I was like, there's really no standout moments that I'm writing down. We're just going to say how good of a match it was.
Because it was
and
just
then
the first
right when I said that, all of a sudden, boom, we got like 2 pages of stuff that starts happening. Man, Roman Reigns hits he's behind, like, he's behind whoever he was with, hits that little front slam, shoots the half, goes for a pin, and then we notice that when Ambrose comes in the ring right after, hits a move, shoots the half. You said you've been hearing that developmental is pushing the amateur style, shoot the half. Obviously, it's effective. Rollins hits a flatliner into the turnbuckle that I think was Kofi Kingston's head got just drilled into the corner.
Looked cool.
Sold it like $1 million. Kofi's able to hot tag in Daniel Bryan.
And you know what I really liked about that is you see that classic move.
He just cut me off on the hot tag.
I'm sorry, but it's on the move we're talking here. Usually you see that corner where the guy grabs the waist and pulls it in. This was a different way to do that same move.
Absolutely.
Of that snapping back.
Unique
and I love those little variations. A classic move, but a different variation.
Makes him special, makes him bring something different to the table, gives him an identity.
Seen that before,
Kofi hot tags Daniel Bryan, and I said so through that first 10 minutes, the crowd reacted, but they were tired. When Daniel Bryan comes in the ring for a hot tag, this crowd lights up, and Daniel Bryan knows how to ignite a spark under everybody's ass because the pace picks up, and this is awesome.
Is there anybody that does a hot tag better than him right now?
I don't think so, man.
I think
hits a clothesline on Seth Rollins, who lands on his head and could have knocked himself out silly. You see him maybe just effective selling because as he's getting up on his knees, he's staggering. He's staggering. He's looking dizzy. I think potentially he could have been rocked. Maybe he's just that good and he's selling. And then here comes Daniel Bryan with the huge drop kick to the face in the corner. And then, if that wasn't enough, a kick to the head. Boom. I mean, this is awesome. Ambrose,
is this where he hit the drop kick off the top? Or
no, not yet.
Yes,
it's coming up.
Oh, okay.
So Ambrose goes up to the top and tries to hit a superplex. So there's a little, swerve and interference. He goes up for the super kick. Ambrose gets pushed off the ropes with the counter, and then Bryan, with huge elevation, leaps off the top rope. Second foot suicide style missile drop kick, crashing up against the chest and possibly the chin right there, and just landing hard. Daniel Bryan tries for the no lock. Ambrose fights it, can't fight it enough. It gets locked in, tries to make his way to the ropes. Gets to the ropes, and we get a plug that we're going to commercial. But all of you people that have downloaded the WWE app at home, you have a chance to see what's going on as we go to commercial.
I love how active Ambrose was trying not to get locked in.
Just
really showing that he was trying to not get in that move. He's amazing.
And this was an effective way of commentary to actually plug the app without throwing it down our face. This one actually made you say, I want to go to the app and see what's going on because there was so much action going on.
Go, crap, we're behind. It doesn't work for us.
Right.
That's how most people are.
We come out of commercial, and the truth is everyone was asking, how is it that WWE can get away with pushing people to go watch an app during commercials when when the network obviously and the sponsors want you to watch the ads? The answer is because most people are not watching it live, and it is DVR'd at that point anyways, that it really doesn't interfere with anything. Moving on, we come back from commercial. Kofi Kingston rocks a little shuck and jive and hits a sick uppercut that connected so well. Daniel Bryan hits the little skateboard kick to Ambrose in the corner. Rollins powerbombs Daniel Bryan into the turnbuckle corners. Kane then makes the hot tag and goes after Roman Reigns. Kofi clears Ambrose out of the ring. So now you have Ambrose and Rollins on the outside of the ring. Kofi and Daniel Bryan each head off in opposite directions. Tope Suicida, suicide dive, stereo, baby, on both sides of the ring. Connect beautifully.
Timing was perfect.
It was absolutely perfection indeed. Kane hits the DDT, goes for the big boot, sets up the choke on Ambrose. Sets up the choke. Ambrose from the top. Kane punches him in the belly and counters. Rollins then comes out of nowhere off the top with a knee to Kane's head. Reigns hits the spear. Uno, dos, tres.
Excellent.
Shield gets the win.
30 minutes.
And Michael Cole on commentary says they have gold, but they continue to put the group before themselves. It's all about that mentality. They come together. They work as a team. They are a solidified unit. They are efficient in what they do. They are the best thing going in WWE today.
30 minutes, perfect guys to have a 30-minute match. Perfect point in the card to have the 30-minute match.
Hottest guys in the WWE.
Hottest guys.
We're running out of time, so we
gotta push through.
With Reigns, where he was like squatting down, and Bryan was trying to touch him.
You called that like, why is he still staying
really
in that position? And it's a great point because all of the trainers down there would say you always want to be big. Even if you're a smaller guy, you want to be big. If you're a bigger guy, you want to be bigger. And the fact that he's trying to lower himself to Daniel Bryan's level, as good as that match was, I bet you
it made him look like he wasn't.
I bet
he
you
didn't know what he was doing.
I bet you they told him, dude, you can't be bending down to his level. He needs to get bigger to hit your level.
But he's the greenest guy in there, and he's going
to be a star.
He came out. I mean, obviously he's got it in his blood, but I think he was an NFL player, I believe, and he's only been doing it a few years. And from when he came in to now, huge improvement. So he'll get better and better and better.
We got our second recap of the night, and we're so far in the broadcast that this is awesome that it's only recap number 2, showing us about what happened with Curtis Axel. And then we go to the back where Triple H is taping up for the match. Doctor comes in and he says, a trainer comes in and says, the doctor thinks you're not able to wrestle tonight. Triple H kind of gives him a look and is like, you think the doctor likes having his job?
I love this.
You think the doctor wants to keep that job? And as you said, Triple H demonstrating an abuse of power
Just
because
like last
absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, and last night he used his power to put the sledgehammer, have it hidden in the cage. Tonight he's threatening people's jobs, and I like, even though he's a babyface, he's doing it in a babyface way.
Yeah,
he's not doing it heelish way. So it's great. It's the correct way to do it.
My nose is starting to itch, and I'm getting all amped up because I'm trying to rush through and finish on time. People are gonna be like, "Oh my God, did he just do something when the camera was off?" No, I didn't.
It's Hollywood, baby.
We get more Divas stuff because we got another skit in the back. Caitlyn says she's got the number. She's got the number. And Natalia's like, what? And she's like, I got the number of my secret admirer. And Natalia's like, well, maybe Khali could, if you give him that number, he could snoop out and find out what it is. And she's like, no, Khali, I don't want it to be Khali.
I love Sherlock Khali.
And then Caitlyn's like, well, what if it's Cody Rhodes? And then all of a sudden they pass Cody, and they see that Cody's texting on the phone. So Caitlyn grabs his cell phone, and there's a little exchange and a tussle, and she finally looks, and Natalia's like, well, is it him? Is it him? Is it him? No, Cody's just posting pictures of himself on the internet.
And he was so funny. He was like, yeah, whatever.
And then she's like, well, I'm glad it's not you. Gross. It was cute. It was fun.
I thought they were all very cute and funny in this.
We still have a couple matches to get through. I'm hurrying. Swagger, baby. This is the poll.
Classic Swags.
Classic Swags on fire for the ring entrance. 150,000 votes came in for this poll, which is a lot more now that we're using the app and not Twitter, and we could at least hear some sort of number. It's nice to hear, or they're just lying because those Twitter polls were all there. We don't have time to swagger tonight. 72% of the votes to Randy Orton, 19% to the Great Khali, 9% to the Truth. The thing right there is our Truth saying, "Oh my gosh, I got beat by 100% by Khali."
By more than 100%.
Orton hits a pretty drop kick right from the get-go that connects smack dab on the face of Jack Swagger. On the outside, Randy Orton with the side suplex on the guardrail that was beyond sick. Swagger tries to outsmart Orton and times to do a little duck around the ring, but Orton kind of gets out on the other side, meets him around the corner with the clothesline.
That was cool.
Slithery snake.
But then Orton starts selling the knee. Something happened there. He tweaked his knees, and this was obviously the setup for Swagger.
He just comes alive when he sees that little injury.
There was actually a superplex by Orton right before that. Orton goes for the RKO.
Oh, and our fan in the audience loved that superplex.
Yeah, he
no
did.
sign in hand. He just get it, boy. Yeah. I was like, yeah, man, I feel it, man. I love superplexes too.
What fan are you talking about?
What are you talking
I saw
about?
Some guy I recognized.
They don't recognize.
He was.
It's Showtime.
What are you talking
He
about?
must have tweeted Josh. Orton goes for that RKO. Swagger ducks out and hits grabs the Patriot lock. There's an exchange, and then Swagger realizes he locked it on the wrong leg.
And he held that in.
Swag.
He had that classic swag. He had that on the wrong leg for a minute,
and
for a little bit. And then he drops it and picks up the other leg.
Randy was trying to say something. Like, he was like...
Work the left.
Not only was he probably trying to say it, because then Randy actually gets a free leg and kicks Swagger in the face, man.
That's for Ziggs.
Yeah, I think so, maybe. And then at that point...
Classic Orton.
Able to pull out the RKO and get the ring.
And
get the win.
I got it.
And I think it was you was it you that said
if you're gonna make it a ring.
And was it you that said when Swagger went to do his Swagger bomb, he should have hit the RKO? Was it you that said
that would have been sick. So if Swagger went for that Swagger bomb, he should have ducked under and boom,
hit
and
that RKO.
That place
would have gone nuts.
It's so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Third recap of the night, and I think 3 recaps on a 3-hour show is totally acceptable. And that's again a Ryback recap. And we set up for the main event, the Game versus Curtis Axel.
Which I guess is the place where our only critique of the night is probably going to really come. And it's not a major critique.
No, it's not major. The pace of this match was obviously a lot slower than what we've been used to. And then after only a few minutes, we find out that Triple H should have listened to the doctors because he's having some trouble. he can't get oxygen to his brain. His blood's not flowing and pumping properly because he's feeling a little dizzy, a little lightheaded. He's feeling a little woozy.
I got a tweet from a secret WWE fan saying, I expect full rage mode tonight during the AfterBuzz show. Talk about lazy writing and killing momentum for getting a guy over, which I'm not in rage mode on this.
Triple H needs some water, and he pours it on himself, tries to cool himself down. He tries to get up, but it's not working for him. And then the trainers come back, and they pull out the flashlight, and they examine the eyes. Maybe the effects of a concussion from last night, possibly. But we hear the trainers and the doctors say, that's it. It's over. And essentially, as this is going on, the logo comes up, and this is how we're going to go off the air. Now, the reason that we potentially should be in rage mode is because we have been led to believe through this episode that a new star would be established, that a new man would be elevated, and instead
he was forgotten about.
This was a typical paint by numbers miss.
What's his name again?
Curtis Axel.
Magilla Axel.
Magilla Axel. Yeah. And we were saying all he needed to really do is just make a move at Triple H at the end and get
originally I think the comment was that as Triple H was getting up, he should have he should have attacked and put the boots to Triple H. Yeah. And then as I'm sitting there thinking of the logic, well, he still can't because, yes, it's a match, and yes, it's supposed to happen, and yeah, he is the boss of the company, and there's a little weirdness because it's after the match.
Yeah.
But then I said all he had to do was make that move for it and let Heyman step in and say, no, let's do this when he's ready, and now he's strong.
Yeah, and at first
now
we
he's
were
not attacking a weak guy.
And at first we were kind of complaining too, saying the referee should be counting Triple H out. But then we said, well, he's checking with the doctor, and in a real fight situation, whether you watch boxing or anything else, the referee will stop the match and check with the doctor and let the doctor check on a athlete. That happens all the time in sports.
On the school report card system, I am giving tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, emanating from the Sprint Center in Kansas City, Missouri, an A.
I'm giving an A+.
A plus, baby.
A++. I mean,
awesome.
This is the best Raw. This is hands down the best Raw since they've gone to 3 hours.
Yeah, this was great.
So
it wasn't boring. It was exciting all the way through. I mean, we even rewound stuff, rewatched stuff.
You guys,
so we spent 3.5 hours watching the show, and we sat there and went, really? This was great.
Because we used to have great 2-hour Raws, but since we've gone to 3, they've never been able to do a great third hour.
People have been talking about in chat roll that there was an AfterBuzz sign like in the 4th or 5th row.
Wait a minute. Was there?
So you're telling me that
the whole time
that was bouncing around?
That was an AfterBuzz.
That's right. What?
Wait, do we have a picture of that?
We do have a picture of it. I think we have a picture of it.
I think we should, right?
We could pull that up.
Give me 1 sec.
I want to give a shout out to the girl that we saw first.
She tweeted us.
Kit Kat, oh no.
Kit Kat, oh no.
We saw your sign.
And we think that this one was Malgorius, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not sure, but please tweet us.
Malgorius.
No,
the
that's the
other
second one.
We saw
There we go, right here.
It was all over
night long.
And that was our joke is, man, that thing was on every single shot of the hard
It's
tip.
amazing.
You're amazing.
And then it's amazing. As you're sitting there, as you're doing one of these. Oh, wait, let's make sure. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
In between the ropes. Oh, my gosh. You're amazing.
So awesome.
So as we close up this episode,
Kudo box for you, too.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. We got to find out who that is and send them an AfterBuzz mug or something.
So normally in the intro of the show, we kind of talk about our weekend and what went on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's well known that there was a big matchup this weekend. You were a part of a Millennium Pro Wrestling show as well. I believe you got a win this weekend.
I did.
He made it a win.
Dude, I'm actually undefeated.
You're on a roll.
I've never lost to MPW. I'm undefeated, and Hector Canal, my actually opponent, didn't show up.
So you got a replacement.
So I got a replacement, and I will take on Hector next time. Yeah. Everyone's afraid of me. The streak continues. Still undefeated in MPW.
My career versus career match versus Brawl and Bo Cooper took place. And while I was accompanied to the ring by the hosts of AfterBuzz TV,
Josh was tremendous, by the way.
Josh was awesome. We will have video clips up tonight or tomorrow. They'll be in the AfterBuzz TV, our Raw playlist on our YouTube channel. We'll get those up finally tonight or tomorrow. You'll get to see Padgett in his managerial action, although he gets booted from the ringside area right away. Anyways, to make a long story short, I unfortunately, despite the fact of a match that included chairs, garbage cans, thumbtacks, an explosion, and finally a table, I didn't have what it takes. I couldn't pull it off. And unfortunately, my career in indie wrestling must come to an end. And last night in our Extreme Rules show, I said I was going to drop a bombshell today.
Bo Cooper did have to be taken care of by EMTs after the match,
I think if you were to go look at social media and see the status updates of one Bo Cooper on Facebook and Twitter, despite that I lost, I feel good right now.
You left an impression on him.
I'm a little sore. I think Bo Cooper got his ass kicked by me. I may not have won, but he took a beating, and he is a broken man.
I'm still there after that explosion.
He's a broken man. The people asked about this. I will be vacating it. This is my last kind of time holding on to it.
I got my eye on that now.
At the end of the match, I was actually honored.
I want that thing.
I was actually honored by Millennium Pro Wrestling and entered into their Hall of Fame along with Bo. And the bombshell news that is kind of bittersweet for me to say to you guys is, unfortunately, next week will be my last episode of AfterBuzz TV,
no.
And based on the stipulations of that match, I unfortunately have to resign.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna miss staring at you, Cathy.
I'm gonna miss staring at you, Smile.
I'm gonna miss
So
it's sad.
It's very sad.
It's very sad.
It doesn't seem real.
On to new things. New challenges, new adventures. Maybe next week I'll talk about that on the final episode.
Your indie career is over.
Over.
14
years. Of
I wish we had that little
the pre-match
video,
one.
That pre-match video.
Anyone who does check out our YouTube page, it is connected on the YouTube page. It's linked in our playlist.
Because that shows a lot of great highlights from your career. I don't know that.
We'll see if we can put something together for next week.
I don't know that our fans actually understand know your career and what you've done. I mean,
give you the quick rundown. I started off in '99.
For a long time.
Started my own fed and school. Got very big. We drew big crowds. It got as big as it was going to get. I came out to California to work for the biggest independent company in the country, XPW. Within a year's time, I elevated myself to the top heel of the company, and then actually also became a behind-the-scenes exec with the company. From there, I moved over when that company got raided by the feds. I kind of left.
Good timing.
It was amazing timing. I actually quit a week before 60-some agents raided the office.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm on the ski slopes in Aspen. I'm on a chairlift, and I get a phone call, and everyone's like, "Did you see the headlines?" I was like, "No." They're like, "Extreme got raided," and I was like, "No way." Okay, so blah, blah, blah. So from there, I went to TNA. From TNA to Wrestling Society X on MTV. From there, I started up my own little program again, got back into CWFH, got back into MPW, started doing some freelance contract work for a big fed up north. And then
in the Northeast, right?
In the Northeast.
Yeah.
And now, after losing to Bo Cooper, I'm officially retired. And as I said on Facebook, I hear Florida's got some great weather for retired people.
That's what
I heard a lot of retired people
I'm a
go
big
to
fan
Florida.
of Disney World.
Yeah,
Disney World, Universal Studios.
After 14 years of a crazy independent wrestling career, maybe I could say, I'm going to Disney World.
I think you should. I think you should go to Disney.
And with that said, I'm going to close it. I'm sorry that we don't have all the Twitter clubs. I'll give them all at Cluminator, at Showtime Joss, at Cathy Kelley, at I Am Smiley. With that said, next week will be my last episode.
Can we go all swaggering here?
We can.
No.
And for the second to last time, which is going to make my mom feel so sad. Bye-bye, Birdie.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you guys are the best. Yeah.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.